February 28, 2026. The supreme leader of Iran sits inside his Tehran compound. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei meets with his highest-ranking officials. He sits with his closest advisors. He believes he is perfectly secure. He couldn't be more wrong. Hundreds of miles away, a squadron of Israeli fighter jets is already burning through the morning sky. The supreme ruler of a 92 million-person nation has exactly 2 hours left to live. This is how the US and Israel took out the Ayatollah. Decapitating an entire regime requires flawless mathematical precision. Plunging a heavily armed country into chaos requires months of cold, calculated planning. At 6:30 a.m. Israeli time, the sun broke over the Middle East. A strike package took off and set a direct course for Tehran. The spearhead of this attack was the F-15 Eagle. It may be a 50-year-old machine, but continuous, obsessive upgrades have transformed it into an apex predator. Twin engines generate enough thrust to push the heavy jet past Mach 2.5, or well over 1,900 miles per hour. The F-15 can climb straight up. It can point its nose at the stars and accelerate vertically against gravity. State-of-the-art radar acts as a digital sniper scope. The Eagle can spot and destroy enemy aircraft long before they ever appear on the visual horizon. Eagles normally carry a vast arsenal of short-range munitions, but on this mission they weren't hunting other planes. They were hunting a man. Under the wing hung dozens of Sparrow missiles. Built by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, the Sparrow is a highly advanced air-launched ballistic weapon. When a pilot pulls the trigger, the missile does not fly straight. It violently pitches upward into the upper atmosphere. A lethal combination of military GPS and inertial navigation then guides a hypersonic fall back down to Earth. A pilot can drop a Sparrow from over 600 miles away or 1,000 kilometers of dead space, and the missile will hit a target the size of a dining room table. It's terrifying, undeniable precision. Loaded with dozens of these kinetic executioners, the F-15s pushed east. The flight to Tehran took a little over 2 hours, but the target was functionally immortal. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was not a foolish man. To the United States and Israel, he was public enemy number one. To the Iranian people, he projected invincibility. He claimed killing him would barely slow the momentum of the Islamic Republic. Behind closed doors, the reality was different. He ordered the construction of 2 separate underground bunkers beneath his fortified compound in Tehran. They were buried so incredibly deep beneath the earth that reaching the blast doors required a specialized elevator. The ride from the surface down to the bedrock took upwards of 5 minutes. He mirrored the tactics of his old ally, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. He retreated into his bunker every single evening. He only emerged into the surface-level offices during the light of day. Then the 12-day war of June 2025 changed everything. Israel executed a massive, surprise assault on Iranian military and nuclear facilities. They killed major military commanders. They eliminated top-tier nuclear scientists. Following the bloodbath, Khamenei became a ghost. He vanished from the public eye. He spent almost all of his time buried deep underground. Israel and the United States faced a brutal tactical reality. They knew they would not get many opportunities to eliminate the Ayatollah. The target was extremely paranoid. There would only be brief, microscopic windows of opportunity where he'd be exposed above ground and within their sights. They had to calculate when those rare windows would emerge. They had to put the necessary plans in place to strike the second the ideal moment arrived. For that, they needed data. For several months, the Israeli and American intelligence services launched a suffocating surveillance operation. They set about learning as much as they possibly could. They didn't just watch Khamenei. They tracked his staff, they stalked his security details, they mapped his close associates, they monitored his advisors, they catalogued his family members, they watched every other important Iranian official that entered his orbit. They mapped every hour of his life, his daily routine, and his compound. They needed to pinpoint the perfect date, time, and place to strike. They had to guarantee that when the opportunity presented itself, their strike would be flawless. Failure was not an option. Using classified tools, Israeli agents hacked directly into the traffic cameras across Tehran. They focused on the ones situated along Pasteur Street, where Khamenei's compound was located. This digital hijack gave them permanent eyes on the ground. They tapped into real-time visual feeds of the area. They could see exactly who was coming and who was going at any given moment. Over months of silent observation, the intelligence agents of Israel's Unit 8200 built up a detailed picture of the area.